What's going on, everybody? So today we're gonna have some fun with this one, y'all. We're gonna have some fun, but it's gonna be on a serious level, a serious note or whatnot. Welcome back to Loose Change. This is your boy, The Show Off, and I'm back with another video with some more content. So we're gonna talk about music today and the impact that it's had on our culture or whatnot. For a natural hip-hop head such as myself, looking at what music is and what music has become and what music has been to our culture, I did a small series about hip-hop back about a year and a half ago, talking about the evolution and de-evolution of hip-hop. So when I got to thinking about the subject here lately, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was asked a question. I was actually asked a question by this friend of mine: how much do I think media influences what our culture is? And I think it has a great influence on our culture. And let's face it, hip-hop has a stranglehold on the influence of our culture, if we were really being honest or whatnot. However, the influence that we have on hip-hop is what I'm more concerned with talking about today, because wherever music stands right now, wherever hip-hop and R&B stands right now, is there because we allowed it to get there. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you may think, at the end of the day, the messages that we hear in these songs or whatnot, we've allowed the culture to get to that point by allowing these things to be acceptable. What I'm speaking on in particular is our propensity to value things over intangibles. Our sexualization of women. We allowed those things and those messages to pass through. You know what I'm saying? Because the song may have had a hot beat. So the next thing you know, you have 150 different songs coming out that are just the same, with the same content as those, because that becomes what's hot. Alright? So when you go back and look at it, you know what I'm saying, like, at some point, ladies, it became acceptable for a man to only value you for the sex that you provide. And if you listen to hip-hop music, it's the same thing. For fellas, it became acceptable for a person to only look at you for what you have. Therefore, you put so much of an emphasis on what you have rather than the person that you are. When you look at hip-hop and what it is today, when you see that that's pretty much the basis of what hip-hop is, you look at situations such as the song with Jay-Z and Nas, where people were actually, we glorified these guys talking about making money by selling crack. But transitional thought, something that I talked about a couple of months ago, where if a drug dealer, are you going to stay in that lifestyle, or are you going to move on to bigger, cleaner things? These guys start talking about investing and buying artwork and things like that, and it catch black eyes. I know people had a problem with Nas's line about being a cryptocurrency Scarface, which is actually the truth. The dude just made like $40 million off of cryptocurrency. So that's estimated. So we have these things, you know what I'm saying? And the fact of the matter is, it's not that hard to get into these games now, you know what I'm saying? And to get into investing back in the day, you know what I'm saying, you had to have some pretty good money to get into investing. Now you got things like Robinhood, and you got things like Stash that can help you get into, even if you're buying little pieces of stock or whatever the case may be, you can get into the game. And for a person to take a shot at that is insanely, to take a shot at a person evolving from talking about drugs to actually doing something legal and making coins off of that. Is that where we are as a people? Like, it matters what you do, as long as it's some shit that you're not supposed to be doing. So today, the reason why this is going to be fun is because, of course, I can't play people's music on my platform because it'll never see the light of day, and I will get flagged or whatever the case may be. So what I'm going to do today is I do own the rights to some music. So what I'm going to do today is do some stuff with the music that I own the rights to. So music, hip-hop music, when we talk about hip-hop and R&B, when we talk about, there's no talk of love and emotion when it comes to a woman in hip-hop no more. When it comes to male woman in hip-hop, there's no talk of being there for each other. You know, the classic LL Cool J songs, or whatever the case may be. Excuse me. The classic LL Cool J songs, Method Man with You're All That I Need. Now it's pretty much, I'ma fuck you, the pussy good, you got good head, whatever the case may be. See, we just don't. We've allowed it to get here, y'all. We've allowed it to get here. We don't do this no more. You allowed them to stop doing stuff like this.
Baby, it's just a sweet sensation. Baby. Tell me your mind.
Check it. Ma, you feel it? Well, I feel it too. Do you have any idea what I wanna do to you? Top to bottom, mommy, you are so sexy. At first I just wanted to fuck, now I want you next to me. That's to say that we came a long way. Ride like Bonnie and Clyde all day, every day. Laying next to you, I'm just kissing you. If you're more than a block away, mommy, I'm missing you. You have no clue how long I've waited. I do nice things cause now it's appreciated. I understand, the future is now. You make me wanna change, now I wanna settle down. With you in my life, my soul feels full. With you in my corner, I'm unstoppable. Believing in you, I put my heart on the line. Sensation feels so sweet when you tell me you're mine. From the way you hold me down to the love making, girl, you deserve a standing ovation.
It's just a sweet sensation.
See, there's nobody to teach you men to talk to you this way, but now you expecting men to talk to you this way and feel this way about you, but you never forced these artists to keep that energy going.
Come here, mommy, let me talk to you. Through this life, I wanna walk with you. Lady on her beat, I am to majority part. Handle your business, CEO of my heart. You deserve this, that's why I made you my girl. I won't stop till I give you the whole world. Pretty ass skin, long flowing hair, pretty round, my hands are always there. Track star mommy, your thighs so right. You even feel pretty when I turn out the lights. You know what to do when you do what you do. That's part of the reason that I'm stuck to you like glue. You satisfy me rather than walking out the door. Your whole sex game got me wanting some more. No doubts, this is as real as it gets. Sweetness of your kisses like you got honey on your lips. From the way you hold me down to the love
You stop allowing people put out the music that feeds your soul. You didn't say, listen, I'm not listening to this bullshit. I'm not listening to this person talking about fucking me as if that's the only thing that I'm worth. I'm just going to go ahead and allow this person to push this narrative. You know what I'm saying? To push this. And just because it has a rocking beat, I'm going to dance and shake my ass to it. You feel me? Things like this. We don't hear these things anymore. We don't hear songs talking to the youth and telling them real shit about the world. You feel me?
Can I tell my story?
Things like
Shorty wanna be a gangster, wanna be a thug. Shorty wants dope, pushing all types of drugs. Shorty wanna be real, shorty pack nines. Shorty grew up in a life surrounded by crime. Shorty's 15 with nice chains and rings, but shorty has no idea about the drama this brings. Shorty CGs with Benzes and rollers, not understanding that them G's kinda look over their shoulders. Shorty thinks he got it all figured out. I'm running these streets, keeps coming from his mouth. Shorty don't understand the mind of a hater. He just keep serving these fiends like a waiter, trying to run the city like the mayor and ball like the NBA players. No, shorty's definitely in for a rude awakening. He'll find out that cats don't have to have a reason to start hating him. Shorty, get your mind right.
This is what we don't do no more. We don't fucking bring substance and put substance in this music, man. We don't allow motherfuckers to actually hear the real. You know what I'm saying? We don't push people forward utilizing storytelling.
Shorty's on the block slinging his rocks. Shorty's getting flashy and it's making him hot. Shorty's chains got bigger, rings got bigger. New Desert Ease and he's busting off his triggers. Yep, Shorty getting checks. Swag built up and Shorty's getting a little sex. Shorty's getting it, Shorty's getting rich. Shorty started treating his connect like a bitch. Shorty's talking breeze with ease, with thoughts of being a boss. Is Shorty willing to pay the cost? Another young soul lost, playing gangster. Shorty trying to prove he ain't soft. Like I said, Shorty was getting hot. D's had an eye on him around the clock. One day, while Shorty was on the block, up pulls the cops. Shorty got knocked. Shorty, get your mind right.
You see what I'm saying? This is real shit, y'all. These are things that we don't talk about no more. These are things that we have failed our youth and letting them know the whole story. You know what I'm saying?
Now what Shorty was facing was interrogation. Shorty's terrified, crying and shaking. It was worse than you probably thunk. Shorty had 4 bricks in his trunk, plus he had a chrome-plated 9, and that means Shorty's facing fed time. Shorty began to cry like a bitch. Shorty's tongue started to itch. Shorty started to snitch. Gave up the man that had made him rich. Shorty was released on his own recognizance. The story is told, he broke the code. Never mind that, karma comes back. Shorty's in the clear, he's good, he's fly. He'll get off scot-free if he testifies. Shorty's gonna start over once the quota is filled. He didn't make it to the trial. Shorty got killed.
You see, we don't talk about the real shit. We allowed music to go where it was. There were people who were putting music out like this, but you didn't want to hear that. What you wanted to hear was, you wanted to hear pop, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot. I do this and I do that, and now these rappers starting to die behind that narrative. These rappers are out here killing each other, getting killed by the ops, what they call the ops, or whatever the case may be. We don't preach love and generosity and helping each other and pushing each other forward. We don't see, even when we talk about matters of the heart, when we talking about relationships or whatever the case may be, they tell you ladies, be strong, this shit is out here, but there ain't nobody telling a man how to act. There ain't nobody telling a man, yo, the way that you're doing it in this sense is wrong. There ain't nobody telling a man the way that you loving your woman, the way that you come across with your woman is very important. And if you're not doing it right, this is music that if you love something, let it go. It's missing from our culture now. It's yours. It's just missing from our culture. When she was there, you treated her like nothing. Now that she left, you miss her to death. Say you want her back, but you wanna do your thing. Talk about marriage, but never gave her a ring. Never should have fronted on her. Now you're mad cause another man's wanting her. I know you got history, but leave it alone. Face it, dog, she gone. Ain't no coming back. She want another cat. She's tired of the tears cause you've been fucking her over for years. She was your lady, and she had your baby. She loved you when she showed it. How could you just blow it? Now getting her back is hopeless. You call it every day, acting like you don't know it. It's only you she wanted to be with. Now you're laying in the bed with a chick for the wrong reasons. You sleepless. When you were out in the streets, you let her be. When you were rolling with your peeps, you let her be. When you had hoes in your Jeep, you let her be. She had to leave, you need to let her be. When you were out in the streets, you let her be. When you were rolling with your peeps, you let her be. When you had hoes in your Jeep, you let her be. She had to leave, you need to let her be. See, nobody's talking to the men like that. You dig? Nobody's doing that. Nobody's saying, if you got a good woman, treat your woman right, because when she get gone, you're gonna miss her. That's a narrative that is long gone. No one is talking to these women about the real story when it comes to having children. All we hear about baby daddies all the time is how a baby daddy do a woman so wrong. But there are stories out here like this one right here, y'all. There are stories out here where a guy is doing the absolute best that he can by that woman, doing the absolute best that he can by his child, and she doesn't allow him in, and she does things like try to take him away. Check it. I can't see him coming down my eyes, so I gotta make this song cry. No lie, the way we ended was so damn whack. You never looked at me and saw my back. I wouldn't do that to you. Your realization got you sick like the flu. Even though you left, you expect me to be there for you. Oxymoron with all these changes within our lives. You were supposed to end up being my wife, but instead, all we seem to do is fuss and fight. Our child was the one thing that we did right. He's the perfection from my imperfect world. You gave me something I couldn't get from any other girl. I respect you for that, and I will always have love for you. So it's not you, it's just the things that you do. I analyze our situation every single day. Couldn't hurt me with yourself, so now you're playing keep away. Question the love I have for my child. Can't you see the importance of him having a relationship with me? Having understanding for what you do. You're not just hurting me, you're hurting him too. I'm not fazed by the names you're calling me, cause I know and God knows I gave you all of me. No reaction to your malicious acts. I leave it all to karma, cause it all comes back. Even though you try, I can't let you get the best of me. When you're testing me and stressing me, he's still everything, and he will always be more important to me than this air I breathe. Baby in your belly as I watch you leave. Didn't care about the daddy that our son needs. In my mind, that scene seems to always replay, and I couldn't come back, even if you say. You see what I'm saying? Nobody talks about that side of the story. All we hear is, my baby daddy this, my baby daddy that. Nobody talks about this side of the story, because this story is out here. People are out here really going through this who want to be there for their. There are dudes out here who want to be there for their children, but they're being stopped by their woman because of this system and what the system has fed to these women about how they don't need us, and you make decisions based on how you don't need us. Never mind the fact that our kids do need us. Just because things didn't work out with us don't mean that you should make the worst situation for the child and the father. It's real shit, y'all. This shit really happens. Check it.
64 bars of my thoughts, this is the realest shit I ever wrote. Better yet, the realest shit I ever spoke. It's scary, our son needs come secondary to the ones you have in your mind. Found out you were expecting. Next came the threats of our child's death before his first breath. Out of your anger towards me, but had no real reason to be angry, cause you're the one who left me. Using the useless to find out what I'm doing, yeah. All the while claiming you didn't care. I wasn't prepared for you to take it there. Deadline for an abortion had a nigga really scared. The whole thing hasn't been fair, cause since you pissed on the stick, I was the one who really cared. Always wanted to be there, but you won't let me. You'll do anything just to get me. But you can't forget me. When you look at him, you see my face, and I wouldn't have it any other way except to have him every day. Those contemplations of making us work for his sake, but since I've awakened, you're faking with the stories you're telling of me. It's sad allow your son to have the dad that you never had. I won't stop till the job is done. How could you be the one to hurt and punish your own son? The who you're trying to prove is worthless. You made the choices versus his well-being. He doesn't deserve this. Listening to this track, you took away 3 years of our lives we can never get back. Looking in my eyes, you see it's not a game. He's worth all the headaches, trial, tribulations, and pain. In my mind, I still see you driving away, and I couldn't come back, even if you say.
And even if you want, even if a man want to be sexual magic, he should be doing it out of love.
Sex in the stretch legs, can you feel me, baby? I'ma keep going until it kills me, baby. Hit you from the back and act shellac with sweat. When I kiss your neck, temperature rises, you get wet. Open wide, cause I know you want me to put it inside. Front to back, you on top, hit you from the side. Head the skin claps, burning the ruffles from the Jimmy hats. Go down and blow my mind, and I blow out your back. Chill, ma, stop acting like you don't need me. Your booty soft like a pillow, and my hands getting sleepy. We both know, once this game leaves my mouth, you gon' be trying to make it back to my house. Baby girl, I got all the